Good morning and welcome to Signs of Destiny 2004. I'm your host, Dr. Chet Snow. We're beginning our Sunday morning program now, and it's really my great pleasure to have with us again, because he's been with us on several occasions at our conferences, Dr. Louis Toury. Louis comes from the south of France. He was actually born in the same area as the famous 16th century astrologer and seer Nostradamus. In fact, Louis has sometimes been called the modern-day Nostradamus because after an early musical career, he has music degrees from the Academy in London. He decided that he was going to get involved in understanding Nostradamus's ancient work of healing, of astrology, and some mystical experiences that he had. I don't know if he'll talk about them today, but they were very influential in his life, as many of us have had sort of an intervention, I guess you could say. That happened to me too, so I understand it. Led him on a path where now not only is he doing astrology and has become one of America's foremost astrologers on many radio talk shows and doing many television interviews, as well as having private clients from all over the United States come to his Phoenix home, but also he has begun to a new work, which is in a type of healing work, and he's going to introduce that in the workshop, which will follow his lecture this morning. So he will be doing that starting after the break at 10:30. But this morning he told us he wants to tell us some of his, what he calls the dragon predictions for 2005, and they're based, I believe, on the nodes of the moon, is what Western astrology calls it. And so the nodes of the moon will be changing very soon, is my understanding, from one astrological sign to another, and that will mean for all of us, because they're at different places in everybody's astrological chart, that we will have some new beginnings and some changes that are ahead for us. So without further ado, I want Dr. Louis Toury to come up and tell us about the dragon predictions. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. One more time, thanks, Chet. Good to work with professionals. Well, as you said so clearly, I was born in the south of France, and I spent the last 35 years rekindling the work of Nostradamus. It was a very difficult ride, but very worth it, especially when it comes to mastering the power of the dragon. It took me about 30 years to understand what the dragon is all about, and another 4.5 years to crystallize it into the form of a 500-page book. Lots of interesting stuff. And I just discovered a hidden dragon now, which has more power than the entire complexity of an astrological chart. Very interesting. I guess we never stop growing. Now, before I go ahead and talk about the next 2 years' energies coming down from the dragon, I need to refresh your memories about what happened the last couple of years. And we all know too well. About 2 years ago, this is what it takes for the dragon to cross one sign of the zodiac. The tail of the dragon was in this sign, which is known as Scorpio, ruled and controlled by Pluto, called the Lord of Hades in Greek mythology. This sign is the sign of death. I guess we've seen quite a lot of that. So it was pretty easy for me 2.5 years ago, in my 2004 moon power, to see the drama ahead of us, the sorrows. The Scorpio rules sex, so all the manipulation involved in the church and all these rapists out there. All that involve Scorpio rules also the FBI and the CIA, and I thought, and I wrote, and the printing process make it unarguable, a complete and entire restructure of the FBI and the CIA, which is still going through 2 years ago. I have spoken about this tale of the dragon entering the fifth house of love, romance, and children of the United States, making it very clear that America will lose a lot of kids, over 1,300 so far, not to forget, hundreds of thousands in Iraq. Scorpio rules wake-up call, reality, and then you're wondering why you have all these reality shows popping up on television with the disgusting energy of Scorpio looking at a girl eating worms or whatever. Wake-up call, Scorpio. It's also an option for you to realize that death is next door. You do have people that do all that they can to put their hand on nuclear weaponry to destroy this country so that they can end up with 12 years old little virgin in paradise. The destruction, the deception of religion that has killed and destroyed more people than all disease combined together. So this tale of the dragon has forced many of you, including myself, to undergo some serious changes. And those changes are imposed by this dragon so that you can lead a more productive life. So in so many ways, don't be fooled. The higher order, the universal structure, the universal clock is taking care of you. But if you build up cosmic consciousness like I have, or become one of my students, not only will you gather the golden keys, what it means to be human, and being informed well ahead of time and how to use the energy properly, but you will also become a participant of mankind's mental evolution, because you will teach what I will teach you. And there is no schools that produce Einstein, Michelangelo, George Washington, or me. There is no schools. And on experience. And a lot of people will hide behind a degree or a doctorate. Don't be fooled. There is a big difference between education and intelligence. Big difference. And I'm sure some of you relate to that. We all have gifts. Those gifts were part and are dictated by universal structure through your karma. These are your gifts. Those stars are more than dead rock hanging there for the sake of beauty. And you will find astrological charts in the Vatican, on the lobby of the Vatican. And if you go to the Federal Reserve and you look up, you will see an astrological chart on the roof. And you will see on my website that the Pope is being taught by the Vatican Council astrology. Just go to my website and check all this clip. They will not teach you that on Sunday school. Be aware of what you do not know can really go against you. Same apply for the medical field. You have no idea how miserably failing the medicine is. There is more cancer, more disease nowadays than was 20 years ago. So much for the technology and the hundreds of thousands of dollars someone has to pay to get better. Quick fix. There is so much better. Your body is set to take care of himself. But it starts with your head. And it starts with you wanting to make the change. Unless you become a prey for those doctors, educated mental snob. Oh my gosh. Nerds born with an incredible memory, but no common sense or no intuition. Not being able to enter the intuitional domain of the stars or the archetypal realm of consciousness doesn't make them better than you. You know better. Listen to your intuition. That will never lie to you. Now, the dragon. This nasty dragon will be moving away from us by the end of December. Moon power has all the predictions in great detail, not only for the world at large, which I'm going to cover some of them, but also for you. Be aware where this dragon is going to be by house and by sign. I will cover that with the time that is allowed me today. Take care of you, each one of you. But it's important to know about every single person where that dragon is so that you can be a provider for support. If the tail of the dragon is moving in the 7th house of marriage, I know, been through that, been there, done that. Be aware that your entire relationship will be dead and born again because the people that you're dealing with do not support the next level. Been there, done that. Hurts. And even when you know it, it's still difficult. So be aware, knowledge is power, ignorance is evil. You go to my website, drturi.com. It's my name, drturi.com. You can read all those predictions in detail. Sign up to my newsletters. Get informed. Remember, information is the key. You will read all about the upcoming eclipses and what I wrote using Nostradamus methodology, such as humanity, poison, sight, least extreme religion, moon, blood, and red river spread, tainted blade, hid late, harmony lost in tears. Things that don't make sense, but if you look at it and you understand the energy, or surrender not in vain terminated, for serenity, agony is penalty. Dim to see a heart eradicated, absence blind soul to kill. I'm using the same energy that Nostradamus in my quatrain. but at the same time I give more physical, rational explanation of those quadrants. The head of the dragon will be entering the sign of Aries. Aries is ruled and controlled by Mars, which is called in Greek mythology the Lord of War. Like if we don't have enough of war already. This sign rules anything and everything that dwell with the army, with the navy, construction company, fire. This sign rules Germany and affects the German language by making it very army-like. Do you understand what I'm saying? Contrary to the Pisces energy which controls the Middle East, water sign, where people speak under the water. Or the beautiful French language, which is Leo, the sign of love. Madame, je vous aime bien, vous êtes bien gentille. See the difference? Everything under the stars is under the jurisdiction of the stars. It's all energy. Sometimes I think I'm the only one who don't need glasses. It's so obvious. If you just could raise your cosmic consciousness and use those energy, ask and you shall receive. It's there. I teach it. Now, Aries is a tough sign. So my prediction is a full and complete restructure of the Army and Navy. New technology and weaponry will be introduced to the Army and Navy, making the United States a much powerful country. You have to realize that America is a Cancer country, okay? Ruled and controlled by the moon. Cancer rules the stomach in the medical aspect of my work. This is why in this country, people spend millions of dollars to lose fat, and many of you are going to die because of the fork. Cancer, food, stomach, America, July 4, 1776. Do you want to know the country's career? Go into the 10th house. There you go. This is why America is the mightier weaponry machine, the war machine that it is, because that's the career. Incidentally, your president, Mr. Bush, is a Cancer country, and that is his career. You have elected a president that is set by the stars to declare war. The beauty about this president is that he has the moon in Libra, which is a fair sense of justice. Understand that if you elect somebody in the name of ignorance like Hitler or Osama bin Laden or Saddam Hussein, you will have to pay the price of his fate. Do not repeat the same mistakes that the Germans did by electing Hitler. In the future, people will not elect president because they speak good, because daddy's been there before, because they have millions of dollars. In the future, when intelligence runs this world, finally, once and for all, people will be elected because of their legacy through the stars. I'm just 100 years ahead of you, though. But mark my words, I'll be gone, but it will happen. Aries. Many branches of the Department of Defense will be imposed a general expansion and restructure. It's already happening with the letters news, with general power, the exchange, the entire legal system, the Army, the Navy, everything is already taking place because the dragon is so close to move. All the nuts and bolts will be given to you on my website. Sad enough, I cannot elaborate because I have to take care of every one of you on a personal level. But I'm guiding you to my website. Write it down, drturry.com. And while you're there, sign up for the newsletter. Get informed. Remember, again, knowledge is power, ignorance is evil. Now, Mars rules fire, danger, machinery. Expect a full restructure of the National Firefighter Agency, all the firefighters, and they're going to be in demand. Very much so the next couple of years. Be ready for some huge fire. Aries, red, fire, Mars, danger, machinery, Germany, competition, danger ahead. Aries, I'm giving you the energy. Understand it because it will unfold that way. I'm showing you how I do my predictions. Aries rules fire, and new firefighting technology will be introduced to battle man-made and natural disaster. A new crowd of firefighters will be requested by the security homeland where resources will be used for training purpose. Expect a terrorist act where explosion and fire will cause significant damage. Expect serious problem with global warming due to many burning oil refineries suffering terrorist criminal act. Targeting nuclear facility in the US and England will become a serious threat for the world at large. And we are so lucky that Mr. Kerry is not in power. Sorry, I don't judge people what they look like or their money like you do. He was born with the tail in Aquarius. And I know enough to tell you that if this guy gets in power, we're all going to fry faster than what we should if we don't act soon. That's my decision, from what I know. Now, Aries rules forge, fire, machinery. Aries rules engines, speeding, danger, competition. Expect a full restructure of the auto manufacturer and firearm industry. Remember, Aries is fire, Aries is danger, is death, is war. The best steel to build up a bomb or a tank or a grenade is to be found in the mountain of Bavaria in Germany, which is ruled and controlled by Aries. Aries is the sign of war. People born in April are warrior. Who was born in April? Hitler. Who was born in April? Saddam Hussein. Who was born in April? Yamamoto. Who was born in April? Jessica Lynch. Hey, people, wake up. It's real. I see it. Lots of people that are in charge in Iraq over there have a very strong Aries in their charts. They don't know that people that make the laws that may sign your daughter or your son to death and have no clues. The top religious leaders, the top governmental figures, including your president, do not have cosmic consciousness. A disaster. And you're wondering why this world is such a chaos. Because those laws that were written in light by God, that cannot be changed or altered by the government, by your church, those laws have been messed up and replaced by religious dogma or scientific approaches. It's time to reintegrate those laws, and this is why I'm here. Bring it back in our college universities, and to be accepted as a serious discipline, so that the kids of tomorrow don't choose the school to kill the schoolmaster, their friends, and themselves. That's why I'm working so hard, hoping to find someone one day that will help me to build up my schools so that I can finally teach the teachers and put it all back together. Unless it's done, we're going to have some problem. Let's keep going. We're going to go and approach the tail of the dragon. There's much more. Again, go to my site, get the nuts and bolts there, please. The tail of the dragon is in the sign of Libra. Libra rules what? Libra rules balance and harmony. Libra rules the law. Libra rules anything and everything that dwell with the law. And right here in this great city of Phoenix, Libra rules psychology. Some very serious discussion took place of where hundreds of millions of dollars went that was supposed to be used for people that have psychological problems and harmless. Prediction is already coming true. Libra rules anything and everything with balance and harmony, legality, justice. It rules also astropsychology. This, which is a higher form of traditional psychology, which I teach to psychologists, psychiatrists, profilers, police, and FBI agents, and NASA students. Be aware. Now look, America, July 4, 1776. 1, 2, 3, 4. The tail of the dragon for the next 2 years will be into the fourth house of the United States. What is the fourth house? The fourth house deals with interior affairs. It's already started with the entire judicial system, government figure of high position already being thrown down or dismissing themselves. The tail of the dragon is on the homeland of the United States. Let me give you a little sample of what the tail of the dragon can do in a home area in a city. But just think back last year in France. The tail of the dragon was in the home area of France. We lost over 50,000 French because of a heat wave. Now, Libra rules anything that has to do with the law. Again, nuts and bolts will be given to you on the website, but I can already tell you a few things. a full, a complete restructure of the psychological and psychiatric field. Malpractice leading to legal dispute involving abuse of dangerous prescription drugs. We force drastic measures to avoid more stress and an overloaded judicial system. In other words, more psychologists are going to poison you with Prozac and Ritalin, and they're going to be sued more and more and more to finally restructure the entire deal of the FDA. Expect a new mind disease to plague the world. Remember, Aries was the head on the medical aspect of my work. Taurus, the neck. Leo, love, your heart. The foot, stomach, cancer, and so forth. All the way down to Pisces, which is the feet, the head, the feet, the entire body. This is what I will teach later on when I heal you. And don't trust your doctor, please, unless you want to die faster. My gosh. All right. Expect a new mind disease to plague the world. The ingestion of some dangerous chemical or polluted animal food and or water supply will bring an outbreak of mental problems and a long series of suicide, including the Army and the Navy and the Air Force, which is already taking place. If you look at CNN, they don't understand why a lot of people in the Army and Navy are shooting their head off. They don't need the Iraqi to do it anymore. Terrible. Now, of course, the general public will also be affected negatively and start to revolt. Expect a record year of divorce and marriages. Many famous and young, stupid people will fall for the negative pull of the dragon's tail in Libra, matrimonial liability and marriage, and rush to a weak commitment that will end up in serious legal battle for some or heartaches. You could see, what is the name of that little beautiful girl? She married twice already in 1 year. It's just the beginning. What? Yeah, Britney. Yeah, baby. It's good to be young. Been there, done that. Now, expect many deaths of governmental figure by assassination or jurisdictions or natural death. What happened not long ago? Yasser Arafat. Remember, I wrote that July 7th last year. The printing process will tell you that I did that before CNN started to spread the bad news. Again, expect a full restructure of the legal system. Bankruptcy will see serious changes and more limitation imposed by insurance companies and financial institutions. Now, if you're into the stock market, go to my website and go into the forum and look what I said and the date that I give for the fluctuation of the stock market. Just click on the forum. Have fun. Ask your question there. No private reading. All right. Expect a full restructure of the FDA and pharmaceutical companies. More and more drugs will be found harmful to consumption and will bankrupt some leading pharmaceutical companies following heavy legal and costly disputes. Again, expect a full restructure of many construction companies. Okay, now there will be a very serious growth because everything being destroyed in Iraq has got to be rebuilt. But even though that there will be growth in construction company and the taking huge contract that will be supported by the government, many of these contracts will be breaking down because a lot of workers will lose their head over there. Aries lose the head, and the Arabs tend to like it. You cut the head off. I'm just saying what you already know, but I'm just emphasizing it. Again, I wish I could elaborate, people, but I can't. For the time being, I can only ask you to get my bestseller. Sad enough, the first print is out already. So get the 2005 Moon Power. The only problem is that next year you're going to order it again because it works. Okay? It's like talking to me every day where I force you to understand universal laws and realize that the moon is a little bit more than a dead rock hanging there for the sake of beauty as she controls your emotional response to life. And you have to know when the light is green, when she's waxing, like right now. And you have to know when the light is red. Not having this book is like deciding to go shopping, ladies, today without taking care of any red light or any stop sign in the street, if that makes it easy for you. Plus, you have your intuition. Your intuition right now don't lie to you. Yeah, Dr. Tree is full of it. Oh, no, he knows what he's talking about. Then if you feel that way, get it. It's me to know and you to find out the guidance that we need. No more sales pitch. All right. How many people are born in April here? I cannot see anything, so I won't worry. Now remember that you're not just an Aries, a Taurus, or a Gemini. That is Linda Goodman's sun sign, Mrs. Cleo. Your horoscope newspaper is your 25 cents or $2 or $20 spent with your local psychic. Stay with a professional. Spend $200 on me, but get what you pay for. All taped. And I don't spare nobody. In the soul channel, when she goes in there and in the tape, that's it. I cannot go and take it back. Deal with it. Now, Aries, all of those born in April, the tail of the dragon will be on your marriage area. Good luck to you. In other words, if you let the negative aspect of Mars being impatient, baby-like, self-centered, you're going to burn the partner, and the tail of the dragon is going to say, goodbye, honey. Okay? And then you're going to have a heartache, because this is what women do. They teach men to be respectful, to be loving, to be sensitive, because women are set naturally to love and respect at birth. But we're different, We are very different. I love it. Now, on the other hand, with the head of the dragon in the sign of Aries, if you apply the energy of Mars constructively, there is absolutely nothing that you can do. You cannot do, excuse me. You can even try everything you can to fail you want. You're going to have the strength, you're going to have the power, you're going to have the will, you're going to have the drive, and you could easily end up number one in the house. Now remember, if you're a Capricorn, that energy is in your home area. So go and buy a house, okay? If you are a Scorpio, it's on your 6 hours of work and health. Okay, you're not educated, you are missing the boat. I'll tell you where, regardless. So don't just think, oh, that is just my chart and I'm going to just get. You get what you pay for. Let me work for you for 90 minutes and get the right information. And trust me, when I work, I don't talk like this. I go like, I'm filling up your tape twice because I'm channeling. You don't know me. Take a shot. Listen to your guts. You won't lose. All right, understood. This is Aries. Be cool. For if you do not, the tail of the dragon is going to remove your partner. Okay, so expect some coming in partner if you're nice and if you're decent. Like just not long ago, 3 months ago, I signed myself a deal in England. The lady is an Aries. So we signed a contract, my second contract already, when I'm going to be cruising all over England, doing some healing, doing some teaching, all over the country. And we're already talking about Australia. So the lady is an Aries, she's smart, she's competitive, and we seal a deal. Common sense apply. Remember, the head and the tail of the dragon are both positive and negative. Okay? Don't think, oh, because the head is here, everything's going to be cooked. The tail is here, I'm going to have a trouble. Don't do that. It's both the same power. You cannot have an up without a down, a front without a back, a God without a devil. And those energy can be both positive and negative. Again, if you want to learn about the dragon, then get the 500 of a page of Power of the Dragon, digest it, and understand the dragon. All right, Taurus. Now, Taurus will have the head of the dragon in the 12th house, which means they will be going through some very deep psychological changes. More than usual, the strong, solid, stubborn Taurus will be emotional and sensitive. Because the head of the dragon is in the subconscious, the strong, earthy bull will become a little bit more emotional, sensitive, and spiritually inclined. So that will force the bull to understand a little bit more about his own psyche. Some of them will go and learn a little bit more about hypnotherapy. Some of them will become more psychic. Their dreams will become more vivid. Some of them will be interested in astral projection, remote viewing, dream interpretation, God knows what. They are going to raise into that spirituality because the subconscious is receiving the head. Now, this is a perfect time, of course, if you are not educated, to fall prey of somebody who follow Allah, Buddha, Jesus, the Mormon, Hare Krishna, Witness of Jehovah, Fatima, a Guru in Peru, name it. You got me? You're going to be very, very sensitive to any form of religious deception. And remember, religion is ruled and controlled by Pisces. Pisces is ruled by Neptune. Neptune rules anything to do with phobia, confinement, church, synagogue, asylum, jail, Prozac, the entire deal of swimming downstream into the confinement so that you end up in the quicksand. And for your information, Osama bin Laden is a Pisces. And he swam downstream in the confinement of his ignorance. And Pisces rules the Middle East, the sign of poisoning. Poison the world with oil. We cannot breathe anymore because the Middle East produce oil more than anywhere else. Worse, The Middle East has also been the producer of the top, youngest, most destructive religion. Christians will die and do anything to protect Bethlehem. The Arabs next door will do the same thing for the Rock of Allah, and the Jew for the Wall of Lamentation. Amen. Let's kill ourselves a little bit more. That will change. That's the age of Pisces, which is slowly but surely fading away. The new age of Aquarius is kicking in. I am an Aquarius. What do you expect? All right. All right. Now, the tail of the dragon for those born in May will be in the will be in the sign of Libra, which is, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, their house of work and service to the world. Following some spiritual education or artistical endeavors, the Taurus will aim into restructuring his service to the world and, of course, his health. Libra rules astropsychology, where I can teach you the laws of the physics and the laws of the spirits so that you can find balance and harmony in both the physical world, which is your health, and the spiritual world, which is your psyche. Okay, move on to Gemini. Again, remember, I can only rush through that. There is so much more. You have no idea. So much more. Gemini. Gemini will receive the head of the dragon in the 11th house. You see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11th house deals with friends and wishes. A lot of wishes for Gemini will take place because of his friends, or handling and hanging around different groups. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the lord of communication. So everything about Gemini is 2, 4, 6. That's why the sign rules twins. Okay. All right. Now, the tail of the dragon for Gemini will be into the sign of Libra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the affairs of the 5th house deals with love, marriage, speculation. To a certain extent, marriage is the 7th house, but the 5th house is the seat of attraction between human beings. So the tail of the dragon in this area will put stress for all of those born in June, if they do not play right or do not understand the dragon. The 5th house deals also with children, so many Gemini may also be forced to lose some of their kids. Hopefully they will lose it through a marriage, you see, but they will have to deal with legality. Remember, every one of you within the next 2 years, more than ever, will have to deal with balance, harmony, legality, including psychology, indirectly or directly. Be aware. All right, Cancer. This is the United States. This is important because it affects the country. Okay, the head of the dragon for Cancer will be in the 10th house of Korea. More war. Let's do it. Yeah, President Bush will get the money. It's already happening. He's got all these financial millions of dollars, trillions of dollars to support his endeavor. Just watch the news. It's right there. And that's good news for America, because America is investing a lot in weaponry. And guess what? Sad enough, you cannot fix the world with love and understanding. You can't. So I hate war, but I support our soldiers out there, okay? After so many years in America, I think myself being American. I'm not French anymore. I would never lose being French, you know. I like freedom. But what I'm saying is I feel American so much more now. So this energy in the 10th house of the United States will bring more power to the United States, but more war. So it's not over. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Now, the tail of the dragon for the countries in the home area, we talked about that earlier. So the entire infrastructure of the United States has a potential of collapsing. Okay, I hate to say that. Hopefully, there will be enough common sense. But the masses is stupid. You know, like a couple nights ago, you had all these guys beating each other on a sport event, football or something. Have you seen that on TV? Okay, and everybody's scratching their head. But if they had read my book, it would tell them, you know, Uranus, the planet of the Saturn release of energy, and shocking news is in charge. Is going to drive some of these people crazy. All of a sudden, they start to behave heretically. 99.9% of the people walking this earth don't have any cosmic consciousness. And you wonder why they behave like robots? They're stupid. Wake up. It's time to wake up and understand what those stars are doing to us. So instead of being victimized by the stars and the universal scheme of things, we can apply our will and control the stars. And it should be started to be taught to the kids, that they grow up with it. It becomes a natural element. It will when I be dead, 100 years from now. All right, move on to Leo, those born in August. This is the sign of fame and power. Schwarzenegger is born in August. Clinton is born in August. Madonna, Mother Teresa. Oh my gosh, Napoleon. You, Leo, you have the chance to build up your stage for us to find the light, to promote the light. I love Leos. Some of my best friends were born in August, but it's normal. See, I'm an Aquarius. See the opposite? The set of attraction? Now, Leo, the tail of the dragon for Leo will be in the sign of Libra. 1, 2, 3. The third house, or the third house is the house of the mind. And some of my friends born in August already are going to go and are going not only through divorce, but some through serious legal dispute that has to come to an end within the next 2 years. Okay? So a lot of Leos are going to be very oppressed by all the endeavors, the legality and things they had to deal with. But look at Schwarzenegger. He's trying to find, to become the president of the United States. That implied to digest some laws. Is that correct? You agree or you don't, that's your business. I personally believe, even though America is made of a lot of foreigners, it's okay if you're born in this country and become a president of this country. Because if that is the case, I am going to go for president. Yeah, baby. I'm going to send a lot of American girls on the beach topless, like we do at home in France. Yeah, baby. Be cool. God made it nice. It feels good to have sex, So it must be right. Don't you think so? I think so. Anyway. All right. Let's go into this Leo here. So the stress will be coming from the legality, from going through divorce. Now, the happy, intelligent Leo, obviously, will realize not to stress himself, let the legal system deal with that unless he wants to die of a heart attack. Remember the medical aspect of my work, Leo, who's the heart. We don't want the Leo to die. Son of light and love. Many of them have a subconscious fear of death and disease. That's why they swallow a lot of pills and exercise and pass their back and knees. But that's just the way they are. Beautiful people, don't get me wrong. So the lucky Leo will enter new relationships, will find new partners, so to speak. That's where the head and the tail of the dragon will play. On the more positive impact, the head of the dragon for Leo is in the sign of Aries. In the 9th house, rules foreigners, teaching, publishing, traveling, mental exploration, higher education. So that common sense right there tells you right away that dealing with foreigners, traveling, teaching, or entering new level of education will be a serious gift for Leos. Got all that? Okay, let's move on to Virgo. Those born in September will have the tail in the 2nd house of money and self-esteem. Again, the same old story. You understand the principle and won't be Libra. Balance, harmony, the law, justice, marriage, divorce, psychology, astropsychology. So all this is affecting the 2nd house of money and self-esteem of Virgos. And I do have 2 of my top students born in September that have approached me, wanted to contract themselves with me so I can start to do my own conferences. I don't know if I'm ready for that. But anyway, I'm already see it happening. Now, the head of the dragon for Virgo happens to be in the 8th house, which is corporate endeavors, which means your husband resource, your business resource, your company, your resources. So it's very normal for Virgo to look for a new way to restructure their finances so that they make money by incorporating themselves through contract with some of their partners that they trust. And I'm one of them for my students. Do that make sense? That is the law. Move on to Libra itself. Those born in October. Okay? Those born in October have already been set by universal scheme of things to enter new relationships. It's just the way it is. The head of the dragon for Libra is on the 7th house of marriage within the next 2 years. Those born in October will have to completely and entirely reevaluate their position facing the world with partners. The lucky one will end up with a good partner that will end up marrying them. That's good news. Now, Libra was also astropsychology. So many people, but in October, more than ever, will be tuned or geared into understanding the laws. Remember, Libra was the laws. They will want to know, why am I here? What's going on here? So their newfound knowledge will be used and applied by corporation, by people, by friends, by family member that can make a good use of understanding those laws so that everybody can live happily ever after in good harmony, which is the purpose or the source purpose of those born in October. The laws, love, marriage, contract, balance, harmony, astropsychology. Move on to Scorpio. Now, those born in November will have the head of the dragon in the 6th house of work and service to the world. Now, Scorpio is already very competitive. As a matter of fact, Scorpio is one of the most competitive signs of the zodiac. Larry King is a Scorpio. Oh, by the way, if you want to know his career, go from the 1 to 10. Okay? 1, that's 7. I teach my student the reflex, and then we go right to Leo. Larry King, King Leo, and that's Larry's career. What does he do? He only interviews very famous people, and he picked up the name Larry King in reflection to his stars. Ladies, you can understand me better. I'm not saying guys are stupid because I'm a guy, but women have more intuition to pick up the energies. Do you understand how I proceed or not? You do. All right. So, the head of the dragon in the 6th house of service to the world will bring, of course, Larry King, knowing that he's always attracting the very more powerful people. More and more information has to be divulged to the world because of his position. So he's going to get more leadership. Now, there is a lot of guys out there born in November that are also in this field, and they will be competing with Larry King. I'm just taking Larry King as an example. So just be aware that Scorpio is the sign of death and drama. And this is why all the Americans think, oh my gosh, all the Kennedy family, they have a curse. No, they're all born November. And most of the time they make the news by dying, dramatically for that matter. There's reason for everything. It's all explained in light. All right, now the head of the dragon for Scorpio will be in their 12th house also, because now we're getting into opposition. There is only 6 signs of the zodiac, though. There's no 12, okay? And it's the opposition of the energy that creates the other sign of the zodiac. The 12 sign of the zodiac also represent the 12 months of the year, the 12 apostles, the 12 hours of the day, the 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 notes of music, name it. It's your watch. That's this. This is how time was structured with the belt of the zodiac. There's so much you don't know. It's important to know. All right. Move on to Sagittarius, those born in December, the travelers, the teachers, the philosophers, the people who carries a lot of past life with the Indians, the Incas, and the Sumerian. In this house, this is where you have been in the Incas and the Sumerian. Long story. I'll teach you all that if you want to. Now, the head of the dragon for those born in December will be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like Gemini. It will be on the 11th house of wishes and friends, but will be the tail, not the head. So naturally, the partnerships, the contracts, the groups that they are dealing with will have to undergo some structure, so to speak. Okay? So a lot of Sagittarius tend to aim for the truth. If they aim above, in getting to each one of these planets and understand the archetypal realm of consciousness, while the young Sagittarius tend to be a religious lunatic or a minister who tend to look at the truth into the books, where he has lost the spirit for the printed words, of course. Okay, that's your ministers. They're looking down. You're not supposed to look down. You're supposed to look up. By traveling in with foreigners, I'm one of them, these people get challenged, and they get to understand the cosmic clock, the true language of the gods. The message is there, is in the light. That's the hieroglyph. It's in the stars. Now, Sagittarius received the tail on that area, so many of them in foreign lands or dealing with their religious values will have to be restructured because the general affairs of the world and religion that is rebirthing from the age of Pisces, which is deception, the past, 2,000 years of ignorance and dogma, killing people every single day, even as I'm talking to you right now, being replaced by the age of Aquarius, which is more of the United States. Aquarius was born with the tail of the dragon in this sign. America was born with the tail in Aquarius. That's why America is very prone to nuclear exchange. America, July 4, 1776, was born with the head in Leo in the 2nd house of money. This is why America is so rich. Long story. All right. So the head of the dragon for those born in December will be in the sign of Aries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those Sagittarius will be forced to aim in new perspective. The 5th house deals with speculation. All Sagittarius will be aiming to travel, to open different books, or to look above their head instead of the dogma. And then from there, the restructure of their 5th house will bring new love, a new interest, and new wishes to be granted. Okay? Now you have to realize that the church is trying everything they can to bring the money back from the trillions of dollars under the carpet that was given to all these kids being raped the last few years. the last 50 years. So now, they elect gays. There's a big community of gays out there. So these people used to be killed and burnt and drowned by the Christian. Okay? So were the gypsy. Now gypsy have sent, they canonize. Oh, you see the church adapt. We need these people, we need the money, so let's write another page in the Bible. Come on, wake up. God is a beautiful thing, don't get me wrong. But God can be a real bad sucker. He can create an earthquake and kills baby. That's not the God I am going to follow, understand, love, and respect. I know a little bit more than all this junk. Wake up. It's all within your subconscious. It's all within the universal mind. And you like it or not, you have been made in the image of God. That's what the Bible says. In other words, you are a God in training on this dense physical world, and your future is nothing else than the reincarnations of your thought. Is that clear? Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Because I call you God. Some people have called you other names. Be nice with me. All right. Move on to Capricorn. That's the head of the goat. You see, Christians have chosen the word of Pisces to represent the head of the devil. They swim downstream, okay, always. Capricorn is the head of the witch, the head of the goat. That sign controls structure, anything to do with the government. And you wonder why they pay tax? You must be joking. Oh, they have their own little social security on the side? Hey, they're in power. They're on top of the mountain. That's the goat, Capricorn. Wherever you have Capricorn in your chart, you are the manipulator. You are the witch. Don't get me wrong. That's the way it is. All right. Now, for those born in January, the head of the dragon will be into the sign of Aries. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ha-ha. Fourth house. All the affairs in the spectrum of the fourth house deals with home, family, children, real estate. Structure, the base, the nucleus of home. So a lot of Capricorn will be given such an option to buy a house, to deal with the family members, to rebuild all this, so to speak. Last 2 years, the head of the dragon was in my home area. I bought a beautiful house right here on the most proficient, preeminent part of Phoenix. Oh, I love my house. Okay? I used the head of the dragon. I knew it was going to come there. Not even a penny or down payment, to tell you the truth. Am I lucky or what? Of course, I know. That's my favorite word. I know. And I want to teach you. And you have to make the choice. I have the keys. Get them. It's not going to be free, though. You're going to get what you pay for. All right, let's move on. The tail of the dragon for Capricorn will be, of course, in their 10th house of career. Remember, Capricorn rules the government. All the people that have a strong Capricorn wants to work for Uncle Sam, the government, the structure, politician. That is why a Capricorn in the career is a mediator, so to speak. Now, the entire career of Capricorn, all these people that works in the government, oh my gosh, if they are working in the government to start with, regardless of the months they were born or their chart, they have a strong Capricorn. If not, they would not be working for the government. The tail is there. And you see all these big people, that's it, had enough. I'm out of here. Thank you, President Bush. Get someone else. You see it happening? This is what's happening. The tail of the dragon for those born in January will affect their home, their career. And on the positive impact, of course, if power has to step down, another lady came in, right? It works both ways. Do not think or feel 1 second that that tail is going to screw you. It will screw you if you don't know about it and you let the tail drag you down. That's all there is. Knowledge is power. Ignorance is evil. Move on to Aquarius. It's me. I was born in February. My soul's purpose is represented by this guy, the man, the jar, and the water. This sign is ruled by Uranus in Greek mythology, the god of the sky. This planet rules anything to do with the future of mankind, New Age, UFO, the impossible, the incredible, electronics, television, astrology, all that I am. Weird. Changing the status quo. Universal love, universal understanding. Structure of the universal mind. And again, a magnet will attract a piece of wood. And like Chet said earlier, I had weird experience. Yes, 4 solid UFOs experience that turned me from a recording artist into what I'm doing today. Long story. You want to know? Get the video. All right. It's incredible, but it's very real. It's very personal experience. All right, so my job was to go into the universal mind out there, right? Understand the code, the language of the gods, understand the true meaning, the hieroglyph of those stars, with my own gift. I put it in a jar, and it's translated for you in something that makes sense through my own intuition. And then the water pouring out of the jar is me giving you this knowledge. You can pick it up from my website. Remember, Aquarius is electronics, television, radio, all that I am, all that I do. That is my source purpose. I reached it. So wherever you have that weird guy in your chart, this is where you're going to be like me. Where is it? In your money? In your career? In your friends? In your home? Hey, where is it? Understand the energy and tap in it. The best one is Taurus, though. This is the symbol chosen by Merrill Lynch Corporation, the bull. And remember, don't forget what J.P. Morgan says. J.P. Morgan says, hey, millionaires don't use astrology. Billionaires do. Right? Wherever you have Taurus in your chart, this is where you have the bank. You better find out where this sign is in your housing system and tap in it, because this is where the cash is. Works for me. All right. Now, what is the head for Aquarius? Well, look, 1, 2, 3. Third house. The head of the dragon is moving in my third house. I already was born with the head of the dragon by birth. You see, right here. That's why I'm a leader of the mind. When I talk, people listen. I bring a new concept of the mind interacting with the universal mind to those mental snobs, educated imbecile who cannot understand that my hand has two sides. And they're not supposed to look down to the brain of Einstein to find out why he was a genius. They're supposed to look up, because all the affairs of the mind start and finish in the universal mind. But they don't have the teacher to teach them that. So the head of the dragon is conjuncting my head of the dragon, and many of you have that conjunction. A mutual receptions of your dragon, it's a gift. Don't miss the boat. It's going to be there for 2 years. And if you don't know, you're just going to stay home and do nothing. You can't do that to yourself, because you're going to wait 12 years or 24 years before it comes back to you. You might as well hit the wave when it comes. You know, you're like a surfer with the stars. You got to know when it's red and when it's green. Now, those born in February will have a great potential to pass on the message to the masses. I'm already going all over the place. It's just the beginning. I already know. I'm contracting myself because the tail of the dragon is in the 9th house that deals with teaching, publishing, foreigners, foreign affairs, contracting, and all that good stuff. Again, nuts and bolts, moon power. You cannot have this book today. Runs out. It's my bestseller. So you have paper on my table over there. If you didn't see them, they are yellow. Okay, just fill it up, put your name, put your credit card, and I'll send it to you when the shipment arrives next week. Excuse me? I can hear you, sweetheart. I was a recording artist for 15 years. That means I had speakers big on this, next to my head. I've lost my entire hearing, honey. You have to come here or you have to speak louder. Hear me. Go ahead. Yeah, why don't you go to the mic here if you have any questions? I'm so sorry, I have to tell you.
I want you to tell us about Pisces.
Thank you. Now somebody who can communicate. Put your energy out there, honey. You can't be shy. Of course I heard you, but no, mean business when you talk. Sweetheart, I know, sweetheart, I know. Okay, what month, are you a Pisces? There you go, she is a Pisces. I was going to finish it, sweetheart. All right, beautiful. Were you born in February? There you go. You belong to the weirdos. Yeah, baby. All right, Pisces. All right, Pisces. The head of the dragon for Pisces will be in the sign of Aries, which is, of course, in their 2nd house of money. All Pisces will be forced to restructure their finances. So the washy, insecure little Pisces who talk very gently here will become stronger in so many ways as far as developing the 2nd house of money and self-esteem. And again, remember, each one of these houses has specific rules dictated by the higher order. And that's why it's important to have a full life reading with me so I can explain that to you. Now, the tail of the dragon for Pisces will be on the 8th house of death. The sad reality is that Pisces will have to undergo a form of death. Physically, could be a family member, could be a friend. I hope it's just your pet, even though that I love my cat. If something happened to Cesar, I'll die. He's my best friend. But hey, yeah, that's what the star says. A friend of mine called me. She says, Dr. Chiri, my gosh, I'm in New York. I'm so sorry. I was supposed to come to your office to do Kabbalistic healing, and my dad is just dead of a heart attack. What's happening? She emailed me. She didn't call me, actually. And I went to my book, I copy and paste last year, 2004. And my book says all of those born in April will have to undergo a form of death. And the father died. Now, any one of you who order the 2005, it's important that you kind of get back into the 2004. So email me, okay, from my website, click on contact, email me, and request the 2004. And if you have a Hotmail or Juno, you won't get the 400-page book. But I'm going to send it to you for free so you can see where the tail of the dragon is done to you. Because this information can be applied for the new dragon now. And while you're at it, ask for the Kabbalistic candle ritual. Every one of you has energies and protecting angels. Many of you are victimized by negative thoughts or poisoning of the spirit through many phobias, religious poisoning, or people assigning negative thought. Remember, the thought is like a laser beam. It goes in time and space through matter. It reaches people, it reaches your future. So while you're at it, ask for a Kabbalistic candle ritual. I will send that for free to you, okay? There is some specific rules. It's coming from, again, the old village of Nostradamus to keep all the negative spirit around you. There is, it's a Kabbalah type of energy, and that will help you to reach your own guardian angel or to clean up the environment if somebody got sick or died in the house you bought. Use common sense. The energies are very powerful, very, very powerful. All right, so now if you have any question, please, you can go to this microphone over there, okay, and I will take care of you. Because as far as your personalized prediction is concerned, we did not even scratch the surface. But I just wanted to tell you a little bit about it. Okay? Questions? Yes. Could you go there, please? Yeah, if you want to have a question, please go over there because Kabbalistic candle ritual. Yeah. It's again, to elaborate a little bit, you will get the file through the internet. The only thing is you have to make sure to do it when the moon is waxing so that you attract good spirit. You don't bring to yourself negative spirit because there is such a thing of psychic accidents. Okay? People can get poisoned with the thoughts or low entities that hang around. And you need to be aware of those energy and clear it all off away from you. All right. The only thing I want to tell you before I pack it all up here is that those stars above your head, they are so much more powerful than what you can ever imagine. Those stars are part of a divine order, and no man has created the universal laws, but God itself, or you, somewhere, somehow, knowing that you are a God in training on this dense physical world. You're much too big to come down here as a God per se. So just a little fraction of the light of the power itself reincarnate on this dense physical world. And you have 100 years if you don't get killed or kill yourself with bad habits like eating or drinking too much. You have 100 years to gather informations. Because your body is going to stay here. Be sure of that. But the spirit is immortal. There is no time and space. As you have gathered all this information, all this knowledge, you're going to bring it back home to God, to you, so that you can grow bigger, better, and amuse yourself on a different level of awareness next time around. Because there will be a next time around. There is not. Death doesn't exist. And don't believe, oh, there is no reincarnation. Wait a minute here. There is. I can prove it to you. A worm in the water will transform into a butterfly. From the watery element, the transformation, the metamorphosis coming from Scorpio, the sign of life and death and reincarnation, the witchcraft energy that you have in your chart. From that energy, that worm will transform into a butterfly. And from the watery element into the air element, flying straight into the sun. Right there, you have the full proof that reincarnation exists. It's happening on the physical level. It's happening on the spiritual level, the same way. You are in this world just to learn and to grow. That's what you're here for. And you have to be either sleep through life or have a life like mine. Yeah, baby. You are alive. That's a gift. It's a gift. Every single day I crack the radio right up. When some people are like a cold engine, don't talk to me for half an hour till I got my coffee. Well, yeah, your coffee is the first thing that's going to kill you to start with. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't eat anything that has eyes. Anything that is dead. Yeah, you got to use common sense. A little seed like this, you put a little seed on the ground. What's going to happen in a few months from now? You're going to have that huge plant that grows into the sun, that will give you more seeds. So use common sense. Yeah, you're going to put that seed into you and the life energy that it possesses. Or just, well, let's do it this way. Put an hamburger in the ground. Is it going to grow? What is it going to do to you? Knowing that, and that's a fact, the average American guy or French guy will eat 12 3,000-pound cows and 8 400-pound pigs. And you expect all this going through you and not to have clogged arteries and veins being messed up? Hey, with common sense. We're going to discuss it in my next lecture, people. You want to know that common sense can save you a lot of money and make you feel good. It's very simple if you really want to be healthy. But stop doing what kills you. That's the key. You got to change the habits. Oh, I used to smoke. I got a good joke about it. I used to smoke 4 packs a day and 3 packs at night, only after sex. So I had to stop. Sorry, I'm French, I'm very honest. That's the way I am. Life is so beautiful, life is so priceless, and it goes too fast. You have no time. You have absolutely no time to be sorry for yourself. Just do the right thing. You're going to get so much power, so much energy, so much zest for life if you just eat things out of life. Just common sense. And I don't understand why people will spend millions of dollars to go and see a doctor that's going to poison you with Prozac or with Ritalin. You know, the moon. The moon ascends in the heavens for 2 weeks. She's waxing, and then she becomes full, white, and round. And then the moon wanes. Okay? Positive, negative. As the moon is waxing, do like the farmers used to do. You heard of a farmer's almanac. Put your seed on the ground. Get married, buy a car, travel, meet people. Do things when the moon is waxing. This is a tide that the universe is bringing you. Recognize it. And then when you see the moon full, white, and round for 2 weeks, well, again, it doesn't mean you got to go to bed for 2 weeks and hide and cry. You know, just get rid of your boyfriend if he's a jerk. You know, do a garage sale, cut your hair, clean the house. Use common sense. Don't push. You're not supposed to. That's where the light is green and the light is red. Teach you all the laws. It's so simple. And that moon is a reflection, being so close to the earth, of course. It's just a reflection of your emotional response to life that I teach all my students. So let's say, for example, you have a daughter, and instead of being born with a very domestic, feminine moon, you know, like all these guys that love to cook and clean and organize, you got a daughter born with the moon in Aries. Say, excuse me. She's not going to be like you if you have the moon in Cancer, watching your mother cooking in the kitchen. Your daughter, you would have to go nuts just to tell her to make her bed. You know, she won't want to cook, clean. She's very competitive. She is a warrior. And instead of going to do all the things that you want to, she would sign up to go and turn herself into a Schwarzenegger or beat another girl on the ring in Vegas in a mad pad. Do that make sense? And then right there, the mother is wondering, why don't you do this? Is normal. This is what I used to do. You got to be prepared for your husband and your children. Mom, I don't want any more kids. You see what I'm saying? Right there, the mother is not educated that her little girl has the moon in Aries, which is a very masculine, competitive sign, and that little girl is not domestic. But again, it does not mean she cannot tab on the other area of the chart. Now, if the father is as educated as the mother, he's going to apply his strengths and his will to control the little girl, and what you're going to have? Friction, right there. 3/4 of the time it's happening in the house. But if the father is educated, he will not upset the ego, he will know exactly what's going on with the little girl, and he will tab on the productive side of Aries constructively and help her to become where she wants to be. And if she's designed by the universe to be a Madonna, well, let her get a dozen of maids. Why not? It happened. You have to know so that you can guide the child. This is the gift. And many of you are victimized because of your stars or your parents not having the stars to understand your stars. So instead of having the moon in Aries, which is very competitive and fighting, let's say you have a moon in Pisces. Oh my gosh. Then you're going to stuck yourself in your bedroom. You're going to shut down to your family. You're going to shut down to the world because they can't understand how over-emotional, over-sensitive, incredibly private you are. And then comes the bull. And there you are. Especially when you're a child. Have you ever been back to the house you were raised? To the little street where you were raised? See how things are small. But when you were a child, it was big. Imagine a big adult telling you something that to his mind is something normal, that should not affect you or develop a phobia. But the father is not educated of the oversensitivity of his girl or his boy, Pisces area. And the child is being bombarded by a live tank or a mad bull, not realizing that the father wants to help. And the father is just expressing himself through his stars. The result is dramatic and produces all sorts of phobias, all sorts of hate, and in the process, a lot of disease. You know, it's okay to go through a cleansing now and then and eat some vegetable for a week. But you know what? You got to do the same with your head. If your head is poisoned with fear, phobia, guilt, deception, depression, oh my gosh, your entire body will pick up the tab. It's the fact. If you're happy, if you laugh crazy, this energy of lights on life is already your best asset to fix you. You cannot just fix the body, you got to fix the head. That's why when I have a patient, I work with the head first. I make the tape and I push the strengths, the values, the beauty about that soul. And anything that could have happened to that soul, I point it out too, but I don't elaborate. So I recarve the psyche being an hypnotherapist because I know how the mental process of mankind works outside of traditional education. As a matter of fact, one of my top students, a psychiatrist, is Dr. Thury. I have learned more in your crash course that I took in my own sweet time than 7 years in college. And here you have people out there that are doing all they can to hurt my name, my integrity. And that's the price you have to pay when you start to get to a level of fame. A lot of people don't have nothing else to do than to hurt other people because that is their job. They are part of the dark force. They haven't yet grown to your level. It's just the ultimate battle between ignorance and intelligence, between the light and darkness. It's always been that way. In relationship to that moon again, you have 12 different moons when you were born, 12 different signs. Each one of these signs represents the energy of the day. Like last couple of days, the moon was in Pisces, and you look at people, well, actually, the moon is will be moving in Aries around 11 o'clock. Right? So you're going to see, oh my gosh, yes. Oh, now what do I feel energetic again? It must be my coffee. The moon has changed for a sleepy, emotional, psychic, spiritual Pisces into a fiery, turbocharged Aries. It's just common sense. Before that, she was in the eccentric sign of Aquarius, and Aquarius rules groups, sports groups, and all these people beating each other, not realizing why they had to behave this way. By mutual reception, the ego, which is Leo, produced the problem. This guy on his back, relaxing, and one of the fans threw a ball on him or something. The ego kicks in, there goes the job. He jump over, he become all eccentric, not realizing that the stars are doing that to himself, and he goes and start whatever. And then the same thing happened, excuse me, a few hundred miles on another different spot even. Same old story, these people do not know. And what's the result of that? What's the result of their ignorance? Legal suits are going to be thrown left and right because some people end up in an emergency room. Okay? The career of these people is going to have some serious repercussion in their career. So just look 1 minute. They could have spent 25 bucks and know on these days to sit in their seat and not to move, regardless of what happened, because explosion, sudden release of energy of Aquarius is in the air. And I always say when the moon is in Aquarius, be careful, because anything can happen. Absolutely anything can happen. And if you're into UFOs, well, this is what they use to transmute into this dense physical world. So my book will tell you, hey, get your camera. Remember, Aquarius rules camera, video, television, eccentricity, the future of mankind, and anything and everything that has to do with the extraordinary. Then get your camera, wait for the moon to be in Aquarius when the moon is waxing, and take a chance, because this is where you have made a good decision by knowing the energy to let this energy apply and transpire on this dense physical world so that the manifestation gets recorded in your camera. It's all a matter of education, period. Now, Scorpio. Let's talk about Scorpio a little bit. Somebody born with the moon in Scorpio. Well, Nostradamus was born with the moon in Scorpio. Now remember, the moon represents the domestic scenery, the wife, the kids, the home, and the real estate. Nostradamus lost his 3 kids to the plague. He was running on the other side of Europe. He didn't have time to come back home and fix his own family. He was born with the moon in Scorpio. Incidentally, Saddam Hussein was born with the moon in Scorpio. What happened to his kids? And worst of all, you elect a president who has the moon in Scorpio, is supposed to die. His family, by the universal mind, if he's not educated, would have to undergo the metamorphosis of death. The 4th house of a president, or the moon sign location of a president, dictates the internal affairs of a country. What happened to Iraq? And I see it over and over and over again. I said, oh my gosh, I pray that the next president elected has a good set of stars so that we don't have to pay the price of ignorance by suffering his fate. Look at Ronald Reagan. Was he a good president? Did he bring money? Yes. What about Clinton? Oh, he was a bit of a sucker, but did he bring money? Yes. Why? Because both presidents was born with the moon in Taurus. And Reagan with the head in Taurus conjuncting his moon. And you wonder why America went money. Do you understand how important those informations are? And it's so important for me to teach it to you so that you can pass it on to the kids of your kids who have kids, so that they can finally put their hand on the ultimate design of the universal mind and use it in a productive way so that love, respect, peace on this world is finally something that can be reached. Ain't gonna be now, because the world is still going through the dying energy of Pisces. 2,000 years under this sign. 2,000 years of deception and poisoning of human psyche, who has created over 875 different denominations, religion, and doctrines, which people are today, now, as I'm speaking to you, dying for it. 2,000 years. Remember what the Bible says? 3 kings following a star, the birth of Christ. You can't follow a star unless 2,000 years ago the Arabs built up turbocharged camel. Use common sense. You can only follow a star if it's plot in a map. So those 3 kings, they were not king. They were wise men. Actually, they were astrologers. And they knew. They knew that that energy would produce the biggest deception ever created by mental foolishness. 2,000 years ago, people, you had no paper, you had no pen to record nobody birth. And anything and everything that has been written, even about Jesus, took place over 500 years after his death. One single little book, one single little page can thick like this. My gosh. It's about time for people to realize you're not going to go to hell. You are on hell because of your ignorance. But you can make it paradise if you get educated, understand those laws, so that you can use it to live a more productive life. Instead, you'd rather watch a rewind of destructive television, dysfunctional television, watch movies, watch football. Wow, wait a minute here. It's very, very important to rekindle those laws and pass them on. This is why I'm working so hard to educate people. And one day, hopefully before my number is up, I can see my schools. I can die happy because I know I have done something to help mankind's evolution. This is the United States, in some ways, the head of the dragon of the United States, fighting with the past in the Middle East, Iraq, electronics, the future, freedom, universal love, universal understanding, the past, guilt, depression, religion, fanaticism. Osama bin Laden is a fish swimming downstream. The same type of fish that has created David Koresh or Reverend Jones, who took 1,000 Americans in the middle of nowhere. Remember, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and Neptune is called in Greek mythology Poseidon, and it rules the oceans, an exotic place. He picked up an island, and what did he do? He poisoned the people with Kool-Aid in the name of Jesus. That is what swimming downstream is all about. Swim upstream. Fight the current. Even if you have rocks, dirt, and branch, and muddy water, fight. Fight everything that you've been forced to accept by your government or by your church. Swim upstream. Go back to your birthplace. Where is your birthplace? The stars. That's where you came from as a child of the universe. Reclaim your identity. Understand your position within the universal scheme of things. Get the gearbox working for you like I do. And then see God in action through his creation once and for all. And get closer to God. And what you're going to see in his eyes, the reflection of your eyes. The reflection of yourself. Because you are a God. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Because these people are manipulating your psyche just to get to your wallet. They don't care about you as much as the doctor. They want your money. They're not going to tell you why you're sick or what to do to fix it. It's so simple. Common sense. A lot of people don't have common sense. And this is why I was born to do. To educate you and to bring you to a much higher level where I can put some wind under your wings, maybe help you to fly as high as I am so that you can make a good use of this wisdom. Well, I've come at the end of this presentation. I take this opportunity to thank all of you, especially Chet, for without him I wouldn't be able to pass on my message to you. Thank you very much.